And he knew he was coming to do another declaration of war.
Behind the downfall of Anglophones is always another Anglophone. Always. If there is no enemy inside, the enemy outside can do us no harm. This is sad. This is sad that your own people that you trust and love can mess up your life, mess up your country, mess up your region, mess up your village, and blame somebody else. This is ludicrous. I mean, if you guys are looking for witchcraft, this is real witchcraft.
Oh, we love you, we love you, we love you. Oh,
Roland Fru, founder of CSDP, Cameroon Sustainable Development Project. You have taught us the true meaning of hard work and determination. You have taught us how to believe in ourselves. You are one of the pride, the lives of the youth of Cameroon. You are an inspiration to our generation. We love you, Mr. Roland Fru.
What I'm sharing with you here is the Cameroon dream. The Cameroon dream is a dream of a nation where French-speaking Cameroonians and English-speaking Cameroonians live in unity, live as brothers and sisters, love one another, cooperate to establish businesses and projects that create the ecosystem for productivity.
Mr. Paul Biya is 88 years old. You should not expect him to change at this time.
Young people, do you hear that? And that is why I said individuals above the age of 40, it is hard for them to think progressively because most of them are set in their ways. If by the age of 40, they haven't had a growth mindset from which you can all see that they are stuck in 1961. Their premise is based on 1961. Their theories is based on 1961. Their entire philosophy is predicated on 1961. How can these individuals help you? How can they make sense of your situation? Do they even understand the dispensation that you find yourself in? And this is what I want our young people to understand. There are many senior citizens that have a growth mindset. But these so-called leaders, these individuals that got in when the teachers and the lawyers were marching and hijacked the movement, they can't help you. And they are above 40 with this thinking. This video, I encourage you to watch from the beginning to the end, because everything that will be revealed in this video will help you have perspective as to exactly how they manipulated and led you into this mess that you find yourself in today, and how you can escape and make a life for yourself in this war, for your parents, for your children, and for the next generation.
J'ai appris avec émotion l'assassinat de 4 militaires camerounais et de 2 policiers dans le sud-ouest.
Just to remind you that this is the speech. They said President Paul Biya was coming down from the airport and declared war on the Anglophones. Declared war on Anglophone Cameroonians. I want for us to listen to this video, and I will read it out in English. I will read exactly word for word what he said in English. Because this is the thing. They have manipulated the Anglophones to dislike learning French. And because of that, they are now the interpreters. So we are at the mercy of the interpreter. If they give you a wrong interpretation, most of these poor victims, young people from struggling homes, will be victims of these individuals and their schemes.
Notre pays. Suite à la disparition de ces 6 valeureux militaires et policiers, je voudrais présenter mes condoléances aux familles éprouvées, ainsi qu'à nos vaillantes forces de défense et de sécurité. Je pense que les choses sont désormais parfaitement claires pour tout le monde. Le Cameroun est victime des attaques à répétition d'une bande de terroristes se réclamant d'un mouvement sécessionniste. Face à ces actes d'agression, je tiens à rassurer le peuple camerounais que toutes les dispositions sont prises pour mettre hors d'état de nuire ces criminels et faire en sorte que la paix et la sécurité soient sauvegardées sur toute l'étendue du territoire national. Je vous remercie.
This specific video, based on the interpretations of some of the Anglophones, led to the escalation of this crisis and where we find ourselves today. Poor interpretation based on an agenda led us to where we find ourselves today. This specific speech that President Biya read in French, in English, it reads as follows. I learned with deep emotions the assassination of 4 soldiers and 2 police officers of the southwest region of our country. Due to the assassination of these soldiers, following the tragic loss of these brave soldiers and police officers, we extend our heartfelt condolence to the grieving family and as well those still defending the territory. It is now perfectly clear to us that Cameroon is a victim of repeated attacks of a group of criminals claiming to belong to a secessionist movement. In response to these acts of aggression, I want to reassure the Cameroonian people that all necessary measures are being taken to neutralize these criminals and ensure that peace and security are maintained throughout the entire national territory. When you listen to that speech, is there any statement which says, I declare war on the Anglophones? See, my people, this is not about emotion. We've lost more than 40,000 people. The same technique that was used to interpret the name changing from a unitary system to the Republic of Cameroon, and they assumed it was secession, is the same strategy that they have used and led you to this crisis that we all find ourselves in today. Behind the downfall of Anglophones is always another Anglophone. Always. Observe our history. There is always an Anglophone or a group of Anglophones that are behind the downfall of Anglophones. And which is why I encourage all of us to push for integration and not federation, because you will live among individuals like this that will cook up a scheme and you will not be able to stop it even in the future. Imagine we had integrated perfectly and there was a Francophone in our midst that understands English perfectly. They would have probably stood up and made everyone understand that this is exactly what the president said. Because these individuals were on the side, they've always wanted to secede. This was an opportunity for them to mislead the public, which has resulted to where we find ourselves today.
Because I said yesterday that Mr. Biya knows only the language of force, only the language of more war. There are trucks upon trucks of soldiers trooping into Bamenda, trooping into Biya, trooping into Kumba, trooping everywhere before the speech was made. And he knew he was coming to do another declaration of war.
I knew he was going to do another declaration of war. I encourage you to rewind this video time again and again and listen to that speech. If you don't trust what you're hearing here, go out there, have someone neutral that is not from Cameroon interpret that speech for you. This is the best interpretation, unbiased interpretation of that speech in English that I just read to you. He just said it again. I knew he was coming to make another declaration of another war. I mean, like, so there were two wars. I don't understand. Are you guys understanding? My people, I know it is tempting to always look at the leaders within our community of this caliber and trust them and listen to them and feed on their words and believe that they are leading us to the right path. This is a country. This is not journalism. This is not sitting on a news media and talking based on how you feel. This are people's lives. This is a nation. This is a country with a history, with a heritage, with a people, with a government. We might not like what is going on in our country. All of us wish that things are different. But this is a very cheap strategy to lead your people in this kind of a mess. It is a disgrace. If at all you studied French, if at all you even understand French, but I know you do. So this is a deliberate attempt to misguide the entire Anglophone zone. And we've lost thousands of people. It is a shame. It is. Let's keep watching.
On the southern Cameroons,
a Cameroonian civil society organization has urged the Anglophone northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon to embark on a peaceful protest until the demands of lawyers and teachers in the regions are met. The Cameroon Anglophone Civil Society Consortium on Wednesday called for a sit-in strike to be held on January 9, 2017 to continue the fight against the marginalization. They call on the people in the region not to open their businesses, attend the market or school as they continue the protest. Late last year, Cameroon Security Services clashed with Anglophone protesters who were supporting teachers' strike against the imposition of French in school.
I want you to read what that banner says. That was 7 years ago. Teachers and lawyers went on the street. My people, stay on this video. I want us to think, because this is how we find freedom for ourselves. We are not biased. We just say we keep all our differences aside and just look at the reality of what we are dealing with. I want to ask you, because this is something for us to think, because we think this is a political situation and it's so abstract. I want us to make this so practical that you don't miss an iota of this video. When you recall on an individual that was poisoned in the community, maybe because they had a visa to travel abroad, they had an appointment for a job interview or maybe some opportunities, and they were poisoned, they were killed, they were shot, someone stole from them. Has it not always been someone within your community or someone within the family that you know? For those who come from families where you've experienced land dispute, to the extent where someone wishes that you die, that they will go to a native doctor to ensure that you die. Has it not always been someone in the family? Has it been a francophone or an anglophone? It has always been an anglophone. Think, just look around your family. The individual that poisoned your friend or poisoned your sister was a friend, someone close. Someone close to you that you trust, knowing that they are telling you the truth and they will lead you to the right path, becomes the same person that misguides you, is jealous of you, and ruins your life. Think about it so well. I mean, just recall even stories that you've heard. It is always a friend that is close that betrays you. I said, I'm not disputing the fact that our country could be better. And I want to establish that point as clear as I can. Because some people came here and say, look at what other youths are doing in Kenya. Look at what other youths are doing. I should be rallying the youths and doing the same. No, I'm informed. And I don't believe that going on the streets, marching with placards is the best strategy to get what you want. How has it worked for many people over the years? Take an evaluation on that. Just make an evaluation on that. Make an evaluation of those who have gone on the street and the outcome. No, we want intellectuals that will make informed decisions, not these intellectuals. You studied history, you're trying to talk about politics, you don't know anything about business, you don't understand how a country is run, and yet you want to talk about how the country should be run. And do you guys understand what I'm saying? If you look at the downfall of every individual, there is always someone close to them that played a role in the downfall of that individual. You make it too abstract at the level of a nation. I want to bring it at the level of a family and friend so that you can grasp what is going on here. That individual that is jealous of you till today, that they want to kill you, is a friend. It was someone that was close and was once a friend. Today, they have become an enemy. If there is no enemy inside, the enemy outside can do us no harm. People are going on the street marching. It says on that placard, "Stop brutality. The Ambazonians, Federation or Independence." Where did the name Ambazonia come from on that placard? If it's just about the teachers and the lawyers marching. Because that is where we have to come back to. Because now individuals are saying, oh, the president has to sit down with this leader of this movement, of the Ambazonia movement, and have a conversation on the table. No, the president should have a conversation with the lawyers and the teachers to address their demands. It is that kind of a situation where you are moving towards a direction, you're fighting about something that you genuinely want, and then all of a sudden someone comes, pushes you, they take you to another direction, and you start fighting another fight. Now you want to judge the case based on the new fight and not what started the fight from the first place. We come back to where we started. We were not dealing with 1961. We were dealing with the teachers and the lawyers marching. That is the plight. That is the immediate cause. Are you understanding? If people are not full of schemes, manipulation, want to mislead the people, where did Ambazonia come from? I would have seen teachers and lawyers' plight should be granted. The plight of the teachers and the lawyers should be granted. I want us to think. Let's keep watching.
In Anglophone parts of the country. Ahead of the strike by the teachers, lawyers in the regions were on strike for 2 months after being ordered to use French in legal proceedings.
If you look at that video, the title of this video on John Ba Akoro's channel, he's asking if President Biya was micromanaged to declare war on Anglophones. It's on his channel because they would have said it is an edited version of this video. We took this video directly from his channel. And that is the title of that video. And other Cameroonians were asking the question, can you interpret this speech in English for the entire Anglophones who do not understand French so that they can understand exactly what President Biya said? He never responded to that. Go under that video and just read the comments. And some of our Francophone brothers are shocked, right? That's why you say, oh, why are you guys not talking? Why are you not helping us? Why are you not fighting the government like we are doing? Why are you not helping us? Because this is what is going on, and they understand it. And it is very clear before the eyes of the whole world. And every international organization can come right there and see this video and what the president actually said. And if you are wondering, why have they not come to our aid? Why are foreign nations not looking into our situation? This is exactly what just happened. Misinformation. Misguiding the people. You look at your own people, you hate them. Just want them to be in pain and suffer. Right? They've manifested today. Today, you have looked at the same individuals that President Paul Biya called criminals. Today, you are calling them criminals. Today, you are calling them criminals. Today, you are calling them cessationists. Today, you're calling them amber. You don't want to associate yourself with them. But in the beginning, it felt good. Everybody thought it was a good idea. Today, they are plaguing and terrorizing your own community. They are terrorizing your communities. They are terrorizing business owners. They are terrorizing the city. They are terrorizing bike riders, taxi drivers. This is the situation of our country. Misinformation. Misinformation. Nothing else. That is exactly what it is. We are struggling today because of misinformation. Individuals with agenda creep into a crisis like this and twist everything around and tell you a different story and stir up your anger, and you're out there fighting. And they are watching you every day, coming up with more stories to instigate violence. And we sit there and say, oh, join this. Come on. No, I think we still have some Anglophones that have brains and understand what is going on. Some of them might be quiet, but they know. Most Anglophones understand what is going on. Now.
So equally, as a person who is responsible, I must think about those who are suffering because they were innocent, but I must also be concerned about those who are suffering because criminals cause them immense harm. And that is the balance that I need to be able to lead a country. I must protect everybody. I must protect the protesters, and I must be concerned about their lives. I must also protect innocent people who become victims of criminals who take advantage of a peaceful, democratic process that goes on in our country.
Do you feel that you protect?
I'm so glad that the president of Kenya said almost the same thing President Paul Biya said. But the country is not at war right now. There are secessionist movements within Kenya. But it's not that alarming, because the big thing there is probably Pan-Africanism, which is another organization that is distracting young people from focusing and building with their government. This is exactly what happened in Cameroon. The same thing. The president of Kenya did not declare war. He made mention of those who would take advantage. Listen, the key word, take advantage of people who are in a peaceful demonstration and misguide them and take them to a direction that they never intended, because they are always in every nation looking for opportunities like this to creep in, take advantage, and if you are not careful, it will turn into a war. The same thing.
Protected all those people in the last couple of days, whether it is people who have businesses, whether it is parliament, whether it is the people who lost their children.
I did my best. If I hadn't done what I did, things would have been much worse. In fact, many people ask me, Mr. President, why did you call in the army? I mean, what choice did I have? I mean, it would have been very reckless of me, in the face of the kind of harm people had gone through, the 19 lives that were already lost. in the face of a banning Chief Justice Office, Parliament, and the rest of it. I mean, it would have been very reckless of me not to mobilize every arm of government and every arm of our security agencies to protect the country and to protect lives.
And this is my message to the people of Kenya. I've looked into what your president has said about this financial bill. And he is very accurate. There are only two ways that a country can raise money, either through taxes or borrow. So the issue is the taxes are high in Kenya. The alternative is let us borrow so that we can stabilize the economy, and then taxes will reduce over time. I think that is a good way to approach a situation like this. Now, if you say do not borrow, that indicates taxes are going to increase. And if you are willing to deal with the consequences of the taxes going up, then that is perfectly fine. It's democracy. If we choose a path, we should be able to weigh the options. But every nation, including America, owes. America is trillions of dollars in debt. Most countries run on debt. Most countries owe. And this is what I think. In situations like this, we should have financial experts in your country explain that bill to you. You have a beautiful nation, people of Kenya. I've had some Kenyan friends, amazing individuals, hardworking people. Cooperate with your president and build your nation. Do not listen to individuals that want to divide you or cause issues between you and your president and your government. Most countries in Africa are work in progress. You guys are doing fine. Kenya is going to be one of the greatest nations in Africa. I guarantee you that. The individuals that I've seen come out of that nation, Kenya will be one of the greatest nations in Africa. Have experts that know what they're doing. That is why you send some people to go to school, go study finance, go study accounting. Let those individuals look at that bill. And after they are done looking at that bill, let them explain to you. If you do not trust the president, get a neutral economist or somebody who's in the financial sector. Explain that bill to you. And if you do not like that bill, today there is social media. You guys can conduct a poll based on what you guys think about that bill. I do not encourage citizens of any nation in Africa to go on the street marching, because there is an anti-government energy that has been in the continent for a very long time. And there are individuals that will take advantage of any opportunity to pursue their cause. Either it is secessionist groups or it is individuals with Pan-Africanism ideas. And you've taught all your entire life that these Pan-Africanists have your best interest at heart, and they do not. Their objective is to cause division between you and your government. We'll get to that video very soon and help you understand what they are doing. But if you do not work with your government, your nation will struggle. If you carry this African thing in your head and not focus on your country, your nation will struggle. Work with your government. You guys are beautiful people, hardworking people. There are better ways that we can go about changing a bill today. Don't destroy properties in your country.
Every arm of government and every arm of our security agencies to protect the country and to protect lives.
2024, the operation reportedly targeted a man identified as Stone Corner, a suspected leader within. Now, this is a problem. They say within the Ambazonian movement, we don't recognize them. He's a talk. He's not a leader, nor a fighter. But that's what the report says. It says that details remain unclear, but reports indicate that security forces surrounded the residence and gunfire was exchanged. It is alleged that 2 individuals were killed during the operation, with their bodies subsequently burned at the location. The government, nor the separatists, according to this story I'm reading here, have not commented on the incident, but several state-sponsored agents, that is, to Cameroon surrogates, they say they jubilated by posting the face of the deceased fighter, saying he was a member of the ADF. So that is what happened in Bamenda, ladies and gentlemen. That happened yesterday. And again, I want to restate this plain and clear, that what the people in Bamenda are doing, we here at this interim government completely endorse it. I know Bamenda is strong, courageous, and smart enough to withstand all intimidation. They cannot do that for 1 week. They cannot stand the intimidation for 1 week. And so if they intimidate you, they carry guns, come to you to intimidate you, stay home, park your car at home, park your vehicle home, stay home, and I bet you in a few days, you won't see them anymore, because they are cowards. Cowards don't carry their plan to the logical end. That's just what they do, and that's what they are. All right, the Kenyan example offers several lessons.
One fascinating thing about this whole thing is I call them cowards, all of them, including him, cowards. Fighting from a distance, manipulating the history of your nation. Took advantage of the teachers and the lawyers marching. Cowards. Cowards do this. And you want to compare yourself with Biafra. Biafra, at least, they had a leader that stood up there. Even though for how many years they have not succeeded with their objective, but they stood up. Cowards ran away, and they're in the diaspora setting up these young men to go die. When President Biya called them criminals, they said he declared war. Today, he's calling them cowards. If it was President Biya that called them cowards, they would have said he declared a third war. That is what they would have said. Are you guys understanding? If you really love the Anglophones, detach yourself from emotions and deal with the situation as we see it. If you do not, keep playing the social media game and let the young people keep getting on drugs, uselessing their lives. Let these individuals keep recruiting young people as young as 14. And they go out there, get them on drugs, and useless their lives. This is sad. This is sad that your own people that you trust and love can mess up your life, mess up your country, mess up your region, mess up your village, and blame somebody else. This is ludicrous. I mean, if you guys are looking for witchcraft, this is real witchcraft. I mean, like, this is real witchcraft in broad daylight, and we've seen it. And when you say witchcraft, you're looking for a grandmother. No, this is real witchcraft. This is witchcraft. Witchcraft of the highest order. Coming from your own people. Sad.
It is not enough, never enough, to stay home and lament high cost of living and unfair policies. Never enough. Citizens must actively engage And in United...
Mr. Speaker, we don't fear you. To Kodani, we stomped inside.
Good. Really Bugay.
Chanting that they were peaceful. So then what led to the Kenyan protesters finally losing their cool? Now reports say it was police brutality, like this.
Now, I want Africans to understand what is going on in the continent, because this is the level at which I have diagnosed this situation and predicament that we have been going through as a people over time. And I want to help you have perspective. If you still think the problem is the Europeans, the problem is the white people trying to kill you, trying to steal from you, if you still think so, then I want you to watch what I'm about to show you. It will help you have perspective. Maybe you're just 60, 70, 80 years old. Maybe you're 10, 15, who knows? There's a lot about human history that you have to come to terms with. History is a brutal discipline. And that is why I encourage most of the young people, if you have to choose a course in college, go for engineering, go for business, go for tech. Let all those history and literature courses be minors. Don't go to school and say you want to study literature, or you want to go to school study history, or you want to go to school study philosophy. It doesn't make no sense. Go to school, study tech, study business, right? Or study engineering. These are fields that can guarantee you income when you come out. Even if you fail 3 times, stay. Keep studying. Even if you fail 4 times, stay there and keep studying till you make it. You will become a more productive and contributing citizen of society when you leave that school. Your thinking will never be the same. If you cannot learn a job, you will create a job. These are fields that has huge opportunity now and in the future. It is not too late for you to drop out of those classes. Drop. If you're studying journalism, whatever that is, drop and go study engineering. All those courses, journalism or whatever, let it be minor. The job market is not there for those kind of courses. And after you're done and you don't get a job, you'll be a bitter human being. You'll be angry with yourself, you'll be angry with your government, you'll be angry with your society because your parents never told you, maybe those in your community never told you. So this is my advice for you. This is my advice for you. And take it seriously.